So nice to meet you. I'm George.
Welcome, George. Welcome to New Orleans.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a very buzzing, vibrant city, isn't it?
It really is.
You feel like you're in lots of different countries at the same time.
You really do, and you don't feel like you're in America.
And at times, I don't mean to sound rude, but at times I feel like I'm in Disneyland.
Yeah, well...
I mean, look at that.
The French Quarter is a protected landmark because of its incredible collection of buildings. Tourists flock here to lap up the music and culture, and as we're walking around, I can see why.
I mean, you can bring the saddest person here, and you see it all the time. People just change. There's something about the atmosphere where it's hard to be, like, not happy in the city.
Yeah, it does put a smile on your face, I have to say.
Originally built by French colonists in the 18th and 19th centuries, the architectural style found here is generally referred to as Creole.
And tell me about Creole as a... I was going to say a style, but it's everything. It's a culture and everything, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It started out as for people, Creole people here in Louisiana, the first generation born of the French. Then it went on to become food, a culture, and then Creole architecture, which is just a blending of all the different cultures that were here in Louisiana.
The architecture is so French here. There's even a house built for one of the country's most famous leaders.
This building was built by one of the mayors of New Orleans, Nicholas Girard.
What's the connection with Napoleon?
The mayor was renovating this house during the time he was exiled, and the people of New Orleans and the mayor wanted to bring him back to Louisiana, and the mayor would give him this beautiful house to live in.
So did Napoleon ever see the building?
No. Unfortunately, as they got the money together, word got back to New Orleans he had passed away.
So he died. He never saw it.
He never saw this. George, welcome to Napoleon House.
Whoa, that is beautiful, isn't
There's
it?
a lot of patina in this room.
Just a bit. I love the finish on the internal walls.
Well, you know...
There's graffiti everywhere and there's bits of plaster falling off the walls.
Well,
I mean,
we don't like to overly restore our buildings. And we love that patina look here. We want people to see the age of the place.
It is very beautiful.
This is a lifelong dream of owner and Americana collector, John Horos. And I'm chomping at the bit to see inside this monumental structure.
This is incredible. Look at that. For an entrance to a man cave. John.
Welcome to Hemi Hideout.
I'm George.
John Hovis. Nice to meet you, buddy. Glad to have you out today.
Very nice to meet you.
Yes.
John, this is... I'm actually lost for words. It's incredible.
We had a lot of fun putting this together. It screams Americana.
John's museum houses a massive collection of mind-blowing 20th century advertising, dating back to the early 1900s, alongside 24 of the world's most iconic muscle cars. There's vintage tractors and motorbikes, and everything is fully restored.
I mean, it literally feels like you've built a cathedral.
Well, that's what everybody said when we first came in. If you don't mind, let's walk over here and I'll show you some of the features of the building. This is a scissor-arch timber frame. You see how it goes up and crosses in the center?
Yeah.
The scissor-arch design can be traced back to Wells Cathedral in England, dating from the 14th century.
So all the timbers are made out of Douglas fir, the only species you can get in the United States that will span these distances. So it's 5.5 stories tall in the cupola here, 4 stories in a clear span.
How big is it in terms of square feet?
The interior is 21,700 feet.
That's a big man cave.
It got out of control. Economically, it doesn't make sense, but it made the perfect palette to paint a picture with all the signs.
John, economically, I don't think any of this makes any sense
No.
whatsoever.
Well,
but when you collect things like this, you just have to stop thinking about the money, don't you?
Actually, this will go down as one of the best investments I've ever made in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this stuff keeps going up in value. I prefer this over the stock market.
Your signs are beautiful.
I agree.
Fantastic pieces of design, I have to say.
Yes.
The variation that you've got is staggering.
When I was young, these signs would be on the outside of antique stores and nobody really gave them a second thought. And recently, they've become really valuable. You can't put these on outside of an antique store. They won't last overnight.
This homage to American advertising harks back to a bygone era and reflects the country's love of consumption, fast cars, and freedom.
Do you know how many signs you've got?
About 4,000.
4,000 signs?
About.
Do you feel like you've got the urge to just keep collecting?
I'm gonna keep doing it till they plant me in the ground. And look at all this open space up here. I gotta fill that up.
John has even built a 1950s style diner.
I came on this trip searching for Americana. And I think I found it all in here.
Well,
I didn't need to go anywhere else, to be honest with you.